Applying a little gesso.
This is just regular gesso.
That's some Stunson Fair on the laptop.
And the gesso over the dried painting, dried acrylic, this is the movement I'm doing, creating the fog effect. It's just white gesso, little white gesso, you can see it very well, right about there. A little bit of cad red, a little bit of purple, a little bit of water, and some gesso. What you're doing is a dry brush on the side of sable, and if I can get it in focus here, we go. You know, acrylics always dry darker, so you want to go a little lighter when you're putting them on. It can look kind of shocking when you first put it on, but remember, any kind of fog effect, atmosphere effect, you'll have areas of dark and light, and then you'll have certain areas, and painting's all about contrast, so you have a dark area here and a light area here. And in the first step, what we're doing is just putting some basic, clouds in there. Of course, remember the vibrancy of the last painting. And as you can see, as we slowly go over this with some gesso, which is very opaque, thin it with water, it becomes more transparent. You could also use a transparent, or a zinc white acrylic, do the same thing, but zinc white is very transparent, and you often don't get the same effect or control over how much you want of your underpainting to show through. We have a background back here in areas of dark. We want to accent those because it's more dramatic when you're dealing with between the dark and the light. So, like I said, this is a regular. Actually, it's more of it's a sable. Not sable. I'm sorry. It's a flat brush. Probably a number 6, I think. 7. And all I'm doing is using the side of the brush, dry brush technique. With acrylics, which is an oil, you can use it in oils or acrylics. With dry brush technique, you're just basically scrubbing. You can use a purple or a blue because, smoke or fog or anything is never pure white. In painting, it makes it look good when you accent a little white around the crest of certain areas, but you want to be sparing with that. I usually do this in 2 or 3 coats. I'll let this dry. I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back and start highlighting again in areas. Again, I'm trying to do this in my iPhone. I probably should have a regular camera. But that's the plan. If you ever get an area that's too kind of crazy, just go in your water. Get a little water, thin it down a little bit, and it will spread out more. Been known to use fingers before, which is, you can actually, there are no hard lines in nature, so you can basically create, a mist effect that way. It's always going to be about diffusing the person's look, viewing of your painting, and creating an effect. And then just come back and just work in the dry brush. Again, dry brush. If you add water, make sure you dry your brush a little bit. And just work out. Small circles, figure eights. And that's the basics. And so as you start creating areas like this, where you've got some background showing through and some mist on step 1, the next would be, what is in the mist. And so again, I'll come back and put in some leaf work in here eventually, possibly a figure in this area. We'll see. That's enough for now. All right, bye.